It's that time once again. We're on our way to the beautiful San Fernando Valley. So, let's go see what we can find. All right, we're on Victory Boulevard, about a block east of Laurel Canyon, and I've been meaning to come over here and check this out for a little while. I actually tried to show this in my last valley video, but there was a fire right here that stopped me from getting over to this area. It was right across the street, but this building right here in front of me that I'm currently looking at, this, at the time, back in the 80s, was the very first record store that I ever remember coming to. It's now a plumbing place, but back then this was Licorice Pizza. It's now Superior Plumbing. I would have been probably around 6 years old when we were coming here, give or take a year, but I actually remember pulling up in front of this building and parking right here against the curb and then going inside with my parents. And I don't know how I remember this building, but like I said, this is the first record store that I have memory of coming to. There might have been others before this, but it's the first one that I remember. And I'm also pretty sure that this is where I bought my first tape. I had other tapes that my parents got me, like they had got me Purple Rain and Michael Jackson's Thriller, but the first tape that I remember actually walking over to the shelf, like looking at all of the cassettes and picking this one up and then going over to my dad and saying, please, you know, will you buy this for me? I really want this, was Weird Al's Dare to Be Stupid. And that was right here inside of this building. And also this crate that I'm holding, this Licorice Pizza cassette crate. This is my actual one from when I was a kid, and I would have got that right here inside of this building as well. I have two of these now. I have another one that I got from a vintage store, but this is the original one, and I can tell because right there, you can't really see it anymore, but there was some, like I tried to do graffiti on there, and then years later when I realized that this really meant something to me, I scrubbed the graffiti off and then kind of took some of the picture off as well. Oh, and like I was saying, I tried to come here for my last valley video to show this, but when I got to the corner, there was a bunch of police flying by me, and then this whole block was closed off because there was a building on fire. Let me see, I think it was that apartment building right there on the corner. This building, the Licorice Pizza building, this caught on fire back in 2020, and the entire building was gutted. Luckily, they were able to save the structure. Kind of strange that the building that I was going to see had a massive fire, and then when I came to see it, I couldn't see it because there was another fire. And you can see where that blue tarp is underneath the tarp. It's all black. And I was standing down there at the end of the street, and there was a fire truck right out here, and they had a ladder extended up to that balcony. That's crazy. You can see the entire balcony is black, and then it came down into that doorway. Hopefully nobody got hurt. Yeah, right across the street from the old Licorice Pizza building, right over there. So does anyone else remember when this building was Licorice Pizza? Do any of you have special memories of coming here? What I really want to know, do any of you have pictures of this building when it was Licorice Pizza? Interior or exterior? I would love to see them, so please, let me know. Right across the street over here is Valley Plaza, and whenever I'm in this area, I like to drive by and check it out and see what's going on with Valley Plaza, so I thought we'd do that right now. So this side of Valley Plaza is just in really bad shape, and it seems to be getting worse every time I come here. And I have a feeling they're probably just going to end up tearing this whole section down. The other side across the street is doing just fine. Oh, okay. Can't go this way. There's a detour. They're doing something with the movie theater. Okay, so this is really cool. I just stumbled upon this and I saw that they were doing something in front of the old movie theater here. And I thought maybe they were getting ready to tear it down, and That would have been really sad. But it actually looks like they're filming in front of the movie theater, and they've got a bunch of sets built. I don't know, I haven't really gone over there to look, but it looks like they've got some pretty crazy stuff set up. I don't know how close we can get. There's some security guards over there. All right, well, I came over here to this side and I still can't figure out what anything is. There's a sign right there that says The Hop. There's another sign back there. Can't really tell what that says. And it's like they're building, it almost looks like an apocalyptic city. Found a little hole here in the tarp that's covering the fence. Try and peek through a little bit, but still can't really tell much. You can see they've got a sign up there that's covered. Okay, so this sign here on the right, oh, it says Lucky. I thought it said Chucky from out there. It says Lucky. I kind of got this figured out now. I think this is supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic Las Vegas or something similar to that. It looks like a bunch of casinos. How did I not notice that this section says, "Welcome to the Strip"? So it looks like they're probably using the old movie theater as one of the casinos, which makes sense. It kind of has that look. All right, it's definitely time to move on to something else. I've passed through this lot too many times, but I just love this stuff. That's why. Now what I need to do is I need to come back here at night, because that's probably when they'll be filming. They'll have this all lit up. They'll have those Las Vegas neon signs going. So that's what I got to try and do. But yeah, I just love this stuff. And I mean, that's LA for you. And drive around and catch them filming movies all the time. So I'm currently in the parking lot of the Panorama City Mall, on the back side of the mall where Roscoe meets Tobias. And right across the street over here where we are currently walking to, I showed this in one of my videos, I don't know, not too long ago. This is where the old Montgomery Ward's building was. And I stumbled upon this and I was just blown away that the building was still here. It still had all of the original signs on it, and it was just sitting here abandoned for, who knows, 20 plus years. And my dream was that some millionaire would have bought this building, left all the signs on it, and then turned it into like an 80s and 90s museum. That would have been amazing, but this is what it looks like now. After sitting here abandoned for, like I said, 20 plus years, they finally bulldozed it. Maybe at the very least someone saved the signs, but I doubt it. Oh well, another piece of 80s and 90s history gone forever. Man, I haven't been to the Panorama Mall in a long time. The last time I remember coming here would have been when my wife and I were still dating and we were trying to find a place to park, and there was a guy right here in front of the main entrance, and it looked like he was trying to steal a bike. There was a bike chained up and he had like a pair of bolt cutters and he was trying to break the chain. And my wife had never been here before and she was like, okay, can we go? I mean, it's not a very good first impression, I guess. I was thinking about this liquor store the other day at White Oak and Saticoy, right next to Big Fat, which is a San Fernando Valley favorite. But I was thinking about this liquor store because I was remembering the time that I came here with my dad and my brother. I must have been about 9 or 10 years old, and my brother and I noticed that right next to the counter they had gold chains for sale. Probably like about that big around, not super thick, but definitely thicker than a regular gold chain. And they had 3 different kinds. They had one with a Mercedes emblem, they had one with a Porsche emblem, and I think the third one was a BMW emblem. And we begged my dad to let us get these. Like I said, I would have been probably around 9, so my brother would have been about 14. And we were like, Dad, please, you gotta let us get these chains. We're gonna look so fresh when we wear them to school. And surprisingly, my dad let us get them, so they must not have been too expensive. I'm gonna guess like $5 or $10, which was kind of expensive for back then, but not for a gold chain. But we almost blew it because we started arguing about which ones we were gonna get. My brother was like, I'm getting the Mercedes, and I'm like, I'm gonna get the Mercedes too. And he said, no, you're not. I'm sick of you copying me. You're not gonna get it. And my dad was like, that's it. You guys are getting nothing. And then I was like, okay, I'll get the Porsche. And now here we are walking around looking like total dorks. And I don't remember my brother wearing his very much, but I wore mine all the time. And so I'm walking around our apartment building and around school wearing this long, thick gold chain with this giant Porsche emblem. It was like the Porsche emblem was probably that big. And I thought I looked so cool. And look at this, I just noticed on the side of the liquor store, I didn't even know this was here. For all you Lakers fans, they got this Kobe mural. Cherish today. I definitely support that message. Very cool. I had no idea this was back here. So now I'm on White Oak and Margate Street, walking over here to show you something. Oh, look at these, while we're here, point out these awesome 80s apartment buildings. And yeah, these have been here. I don't know what year these were built, but these were here back in the 80s when I lived here. My friend's dad actually lived in this apartment building. My friend's dad was actually an actor. He was in Footloose, and he lived in this apartment building. Don't know if he still does. But this one's even cooler. But anyways, that's not why I'm here. There is a church right here. But when I used to live here, I used to live right over there. If you go down Margate and then the first street, you make a right, I lived in that apartment building. And when I lived here, this was just a big empty lot. It was a construction site for many years. And in this area, there were these older kids that lived here that were not very nice to me, and I did not like them very much. And so one day we heard that those older kids had built a launch ramp, and they had it here in the construction site. And so we rode our skateboards over here, and sure enough, we found the launch ramp, and then we took it and we put it on our skateboards and we wheeled it over to our apartment building, and we skated it for a couple hours, and then we wheeled it back. I mean, we shouldn't have took the ramp. It was not ours. We didn't have a right to do that, but you know, it was in a construction site. Like, it wasn't supposed to be there either, and we did bring it back. But that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is later that night, I realized that my gold chain was missing, the one with the Porsche emblem. And I freaked out, and I was trying to figure out where my gold chain was, and I remembered that when we brought the ramp back, it was getting in the way, it was swinging all over the place, and I took it off and I set it down, and I forgot it there. Now, those older kids had made friends with a kid in my apartment building, and the next day I go over to his apartment, and those older kids are in there, and one of them is wearing my Porsche gold chain. And I'm like, hey, that's my gold chain. I left it over there at the construction site. And they're like, what were you doing at the construction site? And I'm like, well, we went over there to borrow your ramp. And they're like, wait, who told you you could touch our ramp? And then they ended up chasing me out of the apartment, and I ended up jumping an entire flight of stairs and sprained my ankle really bad and had to go to the hospital, and it was this whole ordeal. But the moral of this story is I really miss that gold chain, and I wish I had at least one picture of me wearing it. So there's this certain style of house that I would always see around the San Fernando Valley. Now, they're not just in the valley, but there's a lot of them. And I even had a couple of friends that lived in this style of house, but I didn't know that there was a name for it. I mean, I guess everything has a name, whether it be a certain style of house or office building or whatever, everything's got a name. I just didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what the story was behind these houses. But so today, I'm driving around the West Valley trying to find some Cinderella homes. Cinderella homes can be found in the San Fernando Valley, Orange County, Santa Barbara, and more, and these homes were designed in the 1950s by home builder Gene Vandruff. Now, what exactly are Cinderella homes? Well, no two homes are exactly the same, but basically, they're long and low ranch-style homes with high gabled roofs, large overhangs, and Victorian gingerbread trim. A lot of times you'll also find diamond paned windows with decorated shutters and cartoonish lances across the garage. Basically, they look like a house that you would find in a storybook, hence the name Cinderella home. Now unfortunately, a lot of these houses have been remodeled and don't have those same features anymore, but thankfully there are still a lot of them around the San Fernando Valley that look exactly the same. Some of them have been updated, but they still have the same features. And if you look hard enough, you can find some that haven't been touched since the 1950s. And look at this, here's a Cinderella home for sale. So if you ever wanted to live in one, now's your chance. And this one has not been changed too much. I mean, it looks like it's been well kept. It's in good condition, but it's got all of the original features on it. Very cool. And it looks like there's another one right next door. I think a lot of the houses on this street used to be Cinderella homes, but a lot of them have been updated. Yeah, here's another one. This one has been more updated. It doesn't have a lot of the original features. All right, so that's gonna do it for this video. Coming from the beautiful sunny San Fernando Valley, let me just say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.